Question number 1. Use the following stem and leaf plot to find the 5-number summary for the data. Now, it says by hand. Forget about that, by hand. Let's do it by calculator. I mean, you could do it by hand if you want to, but why not just use our calculator? That would be so much nicer. So I hope you have your TI-83 or 84 calculator, and we will crank through this thing on our TI calculator. Let me show you how to do it. This is a stem and leaf plot. So what we're learning here in section 2.1 is 3 things. We're going to study this morning: stem and leaf plots, histograms, and percentiles. So those are our 3 topics of interest today. First off, what's a stem and leaf plot? What exactly is a stem and leaf plot? Well, a stem and leaf plot is this thing you're seeing right here. Now, what does this mean? Well, what it means is, they call it stem and leaf, kind of like a plant, right? A plant or a tree or something has the stems, the stems. I don't know any other word to use there. Basically, the branches. Yeah, that's the other word. The branches, and then the leaves at the ends of the branches. Well, that's what these things are. What do I mean? Well, in other words, this means 10 and 13, right? The 1 is the beginning of the numbers, and then the 0 and the 3 are like the ends, the leaves. You getting it? And then what does this mean right here with the 2 in the front, and then the straight line? That's a straight line, and the 0, 5, 6. Well, that means 20, 25, and 26, right? It's just a shortcut. That's all it is. It's just a shortcut way of listing a bunch of numbers, a bunch of data. So the next row, what do we have there? That's 30 and 35, right? Next row, 42, 43, 47, 49. Next row, 50, 50 again. See how it's 50 twice there? 53, 53, 54. Final bottom row, it's the data 62 and 65, okay? So that's what a stem and leaf plot is. It's just a shortcut way of listing a bunch of data by just listing the first number, the stem, and then listing the numbers that come at the end, the leaves, stem and leaf, stem and leaves. Okay, anyway, so what? Well, we're supposed to put this in our calculator. So I'm going to take all of these numbers right here, and I'm going to put them in our calculator. You remember how you do that? So I'm going to show the calculator, but first let me write the steps, and then I'll show doing those steps. So the first thing you hit is you're going to, make you dizzy there, moving that thing all around. All right, so you hit the stat button on the TI 83 or 84 calculator. So hit the stat button. As soon as you do, you're going to hit enter, because you're right on the edit menu, and then move to highlight L1 at the top up there, L1, and push clear button and the enter button. So I'm just going to clear out the first row, L1. So let me write some steps here maybe. So this is going to be step number 1, step number 2. So you've cleared away, and then put this data, meaning this data, down L1. Hit enter after each, right? So put the data down L1, hitting enter after each one. Is that good? So I'll show this in a minute. Okay, and then when you're done, you're going to hit the second button, that blue in the upper left-hand corner, and then the mode key which has the word quit above it. So you're really quitting out of this mode. And you go second, quit, the quit mode button. And then step 5, you're going to hit, what are we going to hit here? We're going to hit stat again. We're going to go back into the stat menu a second time. You're going to move over to the calc menu and you're going to hit enter. At that point, and then next, what happens kind of depends if you have the newer version or the older version of the calculator. I have the older. You might have the newer. The newer shows, I always forget because I don't have it on mine. It'll show it on my screen now. The one I get on my computer will show it, so you'll see it. What is it? It says something like list and frequency. Yeah, that's it. It says list and frequency list, I believe. I'll change this if it's wrong, but I think this is what it says. And so for list, you're going to put L1, and for frequency list, you want to leave that blank, and then you just want to hit enter. And what it'll do is it'll, and the answers will appear. All of these answers will suddenly appear. So, you see all that okay? So there it is. There's the game plan, what we're going to do. So I'll let you copy that down, and then I'm going to switch screens and show my actual calculator doing it so that you have both the steps written out and the visual, and this will be on a video for later. Remember that I put the videos on each homework problem now. So whenever you're doing your homework, you should see a video link at the bottom that will take you to this video in which I'm doing that exact problem. Questions so far? Questions on any of these steps?
Is it like what we did the other one? I forgot which one, but we did it with the calculator.
Yeah, this is basically the same process we did before in the last section.
Okay.
That's right. Exactly the same. We good? All right. Now I'm gonna show the screen where I actually do this. All right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna share my main screen now. And let me see. Let me go back and grab my calculator here. Yeah, 84. There it is. All right. Perfect. So, okay, so you are all seeing that. And so I'm going to go through these buttons that I just said. So here we go. So I'm going to hit stat. And see, I'm on the, see, there's these 3 menus. There's the, you can move around, there's that menu, there's 3 menus. You get in the hang of this calculator, you'll know this thing like the back of your hand by the end of the semester. There's 3 sub menus under the statistics menu. This is where we're going to be going almost all the time. So we have the edit menu. Edit is where you enter the documents, kind of like typing a word processing document for one of your classes where you write papers. First you edit it, right? You put it into the memory banks, and then later you print it out and stuff. So right now we're in edit mode. So I'm going to hit enter. So now my L1's already clear, but suppose it wasn't clear. You'd have to go up here, highlight L1, hit clear, and enter. Or let me show you that what I'm there's a history of what I'm pressing. So you got to go stat, go up to the top, clear, and enter. Get this clear, and now put the data right down there. So I'm going to try to do that. This thing's in the way a little bit. There we go. It's up just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so here we go. 1, 0 is the first number. Enter. See, I hit enter after I put it in. 1, 3, enter. I'm just putting the numbers in now. 20, enter. 25, enter. I'm just looking at the data list. 26, enter. 30 and 35. So 30, enter. 35, enter. 42, 43. So 42, enter. 43, enter. 47 and 49. 47, enter. 49, enter. 50, 50, so two 50s here. 50, enter. 50, enter. 53, I believe, right? Yeah, two 53s now. Two 53s, a 54, almost there. 62 and a 65. 62 and 65. So see how I entered all the numbers down L1, hit enter after each one. Now I'm on step 4. I'm going to hit second. See, here's the second button. You see how this calculator works? See how the second button is blue? That means it can give you the blue function above any key that you hit right after hitting the second button, right? You see how these keys can all do two things? They can do what's printed on the key, or they can do what's above the key in the blue if you first hit the second blue button and then that key. So I'm going to hit second and then the mode button because I really want the quit function, the blue quit above it. Boom. So it just quit. See how my screen's blank there? It quit the data entry. Now it's got it saved. Don't need to worry about it. It's got it saved. Every time you hit the enter button, it saved that piece of data. It knows that whole list. It's got it stored in L1. Now I just need to tell the calculator to calculate stuff on that data. Here we go. Go back into the stat menu again, hit stat. But this time I'm going to go over to the calculate submenu. Hit right arrow, calculate. I want one variable stats. That's what I want. Hit enter. Boom. Now here's the list, frequency list. Yeah, so that's exactly what that list. So L1 is what you want on list. Frequency list blank. So if you have anything there, make it blank. Go on down to calculate and hit enter. And then you can just go down arrow there and you'll see all of our data. There it is. There's the stuff they want, the min, the Q1, the median, the Q3, and the max. There it all is. I'm going to write that down real quick. Looks like, what is it? It's 10, 26, 45, 53, 65. There they are. There's the numbers. All right, so I'm going to go back. Questions on that before I switch back to showing my iPad screen again? All right, I'm going to go back to the iPad screen. Okay, so here in the only I would correct, my steps were right except for this last step should have been calculate. You have to highlight that and then hit enter. There we go. Answers will appear when you go with the down arrow, right? So those answers all appeared. This is 10, this is 26, 45, 53, and 65. There we go. Questions on that one? So we're done with that problem.